Open up your eyes, take a look at me. Get the picture fixed in your memory. I'm driven by the rhythm like the beat of a heart. And I won't stop until I start to stand out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to LorcanaCast, the happiest podcast on earth. We are here to talk about Lorcana, and this week's episode is going to be awesome because we have special guests, and we are talking about GenCon. It is 5 weeks away from the time of this episode posting, and that is going to fly by in a flash. And so we are just privileged to have some of the team from ReadySetDraw. So welcome, everybody. How is everyone doing on this fantastic evening?
Oh, dude, I'm doing great. Hi, this is Tyler from ReadySetDraw. I'm super excited to be here. Been super excited since I heard that we were going to be doing this. I'm obviously really excited to meet you guys. And dude, I can't wait for GenCon. I think it's going to be freaking fantastic.
Well, I am also here. My name is Jacob. You probably heard my voice before. I'm usually on Twitter all the time, scanning hashtag Lorcana, talking to everybody on there, just being a part of the community and really enjoying it. Just glad to be here, be a part of this awesome podcast I've been listening to since I learned about it in April. So excited to be here.
Yeah, Chris, how are you doing?
Awesome, man. Ready to get to talk about some GenCon.
Yeah, no, we got the Skeffinator. I think you have the most GenCon experience of the five of us.
Let's do this. I'm excited. It's all I bring to the table.
Don't forget, you got to have your random hangout with Nick when you get there. Don't forget. He told me to remind you.
Yes, I'll make sure to make that happen.
Okay, cool. So this week is going to be a really cool episode. It's going to be very, very loose, very much a fluid episode. And we're going to talk about GenCon. So myself and the ReadySetDraw team, we have never been. Chris Bates and the Skeff Man have been multiple times. And we've noticed that in the community, there's quite a few people who are going for their very first time. And they've been starting to ask questions about what should I do? What should I not do? What should I bring? What should I not bring? So we are here to pester Chris and Skeff with questions and have them answer so that people who are listening can realize GenCon's a lot of fun. However, there is a lot of preparation that goes into this kind of vacation event, whatever you want to call it. And you don't want to show up unprepared because that's going to suck. So first of all, we'll lead off with this question for Skeff and Chris. What are some of your top tips for people who are going to GenCon? What should they do?
Get there early. Whatever time you think you need to get there earlier than that. I cannot underestimate that enough.
Dude, I was already planning on being there at like 4 o'clock in the morning. So if I need to be there earlier than that, holy crap.
It changes per year, but I think it used to be, before I even went, that you could like get there overnight, like wait outside the doors overnight. But then they stopped doing that. I think 4 a.m. Last time I was, I think last 2019 was the earliest you could like get in the convention center and start sitting by the doors and getting a prime spot. So yeah, I mean, on that point, if we're talking about getting product and getting into where all the product is.
Well, also just for parking too.
Well, that part too.
Parking. Yeah. If you're like looking to park your car. That's the thing. It's like you want to get that parking spot early in the parking garage. Now, the good part about Indy is that there are a lot of spots downtown that have like good parking, but the trick is that you've got to get there early. If you don't get there early, you're in trouble.
So is there a convention center? I know it's Lucas Oil Stadium and the convention center right next to it. I think it was Citizens of Lorcana was saying that there's like a parking garage, but I assume that's going to have some pretty high dollar for day parking, right? If it's right next door.
So there's right next door parking in the garage, but I do believe, Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's like for the day, it was like $30-$40 for the day, I think.
They charge you a premium for sure.
Yeah, it's like $30-$40. And there are parking parking areas that
I think what he's going to say is there are parking areas around the convention center.
Yes.
Right. Oh, there we go. So like Gate 10's a big one. I'm not sure where they are. I could look it up right now, but usually they get sold out, before the convention even starts. But I think they may have some like ad hoc spaces or whatever.
So if we're driving up there.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a long drive. We're going to be getting into Indy on, I'd say Thursday morning at like 2 a.m. or so. So would you suggest that we just drop our stuff off at our accommodations and then go?
Baby. You ain't going to sleep.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking, though. For real, dude, I'm worried.
I mean, it's probably not like you should probably like. So there's 2 of you or 3 of you.
There's going to be 2 of us from the crew, but a friend is joining us. So
that's the thing is like, yeah, it's going to be a challenge. That's for sure.
Where are you driving from?
Texarkana, Texas.
Oh my gosh! Ew.
Yeah, but anything needs to happen to make us GenCon attendees. I'm not gonna give it up just because of a 10-hour drive. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're gonna
get there.
No, I mean I'm under an 8-hour drive. I'm coming in from Missouri, so I'm not that much better. But I'm coming in Tuesday.
That's true. Yeah, that's
a
big deal.
We're going to be coming in from the same direction that you are.
I mean, so the thing is, like, if you're going to get there Thursday morning at like 2 a.m., you're going to want to probably go to the hotel. So the thing is, like, the convention center, like, who is one person doing most of the driving?
Yeah, I figure we'd alternate, but Tyler's probably going to do most of the driving.
So here's probably best case scenario is that you would have the person who did the most driving probably go try to get the most amount of rest at the hotel room. And then since the convention floor technically it doesn't open until 10 a.m., so you guys can just take shift because you're guys staying at the hotel nearby.
Oh, we're staying in a B&B.
Oh, is that nearby?
It's still fairly close.
Yeah, it's 15 minutes from where the convention center.
Oh, but in essence, you can't walk from the Airbnb to the. You'd have to drive again.
I would encourage you. What I would tell these guys. I mean, we're kind of jumping around a little bit, but I would encourage you guys not to drive every day and park. That would be my advice to you. I think it's much easier to take an Uber or Lyft.
Yeah, if you're not within walking distance of wherever you're staying. Now, remember, there's ebbs and flows. Like Chris is like right in the fact that like, yes, it's easier day in, day out to get the Uber. Yeah, it's just that you don't have like you don't have a car to dump things in, right?
Right.
So that's the only kind of like drawback. So if there's a certain day you think you're gonna get a lot of stuff, maybe that's the one day you drive and then you park. And then the other days you Uber, like it's just kind of like it for Gen Con, I can't really it's just like it's just a lot of planning, guys. It's just like, it's a lot of people, there's a lot of events, there's a lot of things going on. It's just like make a list and see what you want to get to.
And Jake, I was just thinking about this. Like I could totally my dad actually has a Pilot. So a Honda Pilot.
We are not flying.
Yeah, I have a Mini Cooper Countryman.
Oh, you're talking okay. I was talking about the car. No, I was about to say we're not chartering a flight,
dude. No, absolutely not. Just because we can do something doesn't mean that we should. But
we don't have to get into details of what car we're taking. That's
but as far as like size of car, I think we could definitely switch and make it more feasible for us to like possibly sleep or nap in the car.
Yeah,
give us an actual place to just like chill and relax. Because my dad's car can do that.
So what I would say is, I mean, so there still is a lot of unknowns, right? So if the assumption is that Ravensburger is going to have boxes there for sale, or even I think it's pretty safe to say that they'll have the starter sets there, right? That seems pretty safe to say. People probably will want to line up for that. So if that's really what you guys want, because everybody's going to be doing it, whatever they let you into the convention center, simply either 4 or 5 a.m. You want to figure out. You want to get the map of Gen Con exhibit hall. You want to find out, or we could probably look at that right now. Look at what Ravensburger's booth is. You want to find out what door that's near, and you basically want to get there early. Have one person from your crew get there early and sit down, and then that's you get an early spot. There'd be like stanchions, kind of making a moon shape outside of the door, and you want to get there early because those doors are all going to open at the same time at around 10 a.m. and then all, whatever it is, 20,000 people or whatever are going to rush in there at the same time. And so you try to like organize yourself to get near the booth you want to be to first. Because immediately, every year there's always a new release of a product and then or a limited product that sells out every day. And it's like you can't run. There's people watching you. They're like, that's employees of GenCon. Like
there will be people running.
But I mean, if you get caught, you get sent back. So it's a whole thing.
There's run police.
If the volunteer, if the volunteer is gonna find the person,
that's why I get caught and put back out. So it's a whole thing, man. Because you'll do like a pregame show. And there'll be people like in the hallway, like getting amped up, and they'll be like, "Run, don't walk," and like all and they'll be doing like those bands and stuff. It depends on the year, but like there's a whole bunch of stuff going on right before that. Because once you get there early at 5 a.m., I literally like it's I don't know what is it, Skeff, like 50 feet. The hallway's like 50 feet wide, longer.
What do you mean for like what hallway?
Like the outside the exhibit halls, like between
outside the exhibit halls, between like just the convention area itself, right, where you walk around.
Yeah,
that's probably good. Yeah, probably got 40 feet, 40, 50
so
feet.
that will be that 40 feet will be packed, literally like packed with human beings, like from the front to the back. They would be packed with human beings.
Stank in there.
So, no. It's really nice. I mean, it's a very airy. It's huge.
I was talking about specifically from the people, not.
Yeah, there's so much air going around. But so if that's what you guys' interest is, like if you're getting in that late at night, you maybe just stay up, go straight there, get in there, and get out your book, get out your iPad, play some games or whatever. Wait for the hall to open.
This is an opportunity to ask you if my initial plan. But I think it was like a good heads up idea. I went ahead and ordered 2 portable phone chargers.
Yeah, it's a perfect idea. You're going to need it.
Or a battery pack.
You're going to need that's a battery pack. The portable phone charger?
Oh, that's what you mean, like a battery. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because there are like wall chargers, but they're rare and they're like
nearby.
You don't want to be tethered to a wall.
You don't want to depending on where you're be sitting with the spot you're going to get, you want to be able to move around.
Here's something else very important you need to bring with you. You need to bring with you an empty water bottle or an empty water container. Like that's super important to bring with you because at the end of the day, it's like recycled air. You're talking a lot. Like staying hydrated is the most important thing to keep your day going. And so like I always, because refilling a water bottle is super easy to do. Buying a $7 water every time you need a water, not fun. Zero fun. Terrible plan. So get yourself like a nice thermos or something to put your water in. But that's
funny enough.
Do not recommend that enough.
Me and Jacob both have matching Stanley cups.
Well then,
I don't want to take a Stanley cup though.
Hello Kitty sticker to tell you who's who.
You weren't supposed to divulge that information.
It's giant Stanley cups.
That's prone to spilling though.
But water is super important for the day. It's just like you'll need to stay hydrated.
Question for Skeff and Chris. Some places have that like water bottle refiller where you like put the bottle in. And do they have those at GenCon, or do you have to like the water fountain with the?
They have those installed.
They have them.
Okay.
Yep, they got them installed now.
So it's pretty easy to fill up an actual water bottle. You don't have to like turn it sideways and you get the right
super easy.
Okay.
Also, here's something else to recommend too. I don't know, is for food, guys. Like I highly recommend eating a good breakfast.
Yep.
Like a good breakfast because the concept of getting lunch is nigh impossible. Just because you have like everywhere
it's convention stuff.
Like you can eat inside the convention center and then just be sad. So don't do that. But it's just there is just so many humans that everything's a wait. So if you're like on a time crunch or you have somewhere to be, like so I usually eat a big breakfast. Then you're kind of like good for a while, or like and make sure you like bring snacks with you. Like bringing like food and snacks with you and drinks is super important to like.
I would encourage if you guys could find time, between after you like wait in line or whatever. Like the food truck stuff is pretty fun. They have a huge food truck pavilion.
Yes,
they rotate in
breakfast food trucks too. They have breakfast food trucks.
Yeah, but they rotate in and out food trucks all day long. So like
the lunch ones are just super long, man.
They will be. So like you gotta give yourself more time. But there's GenCon staples like Hawaiian noodles. There's always like that's a big one.
There's always burgers.
Is it cash only or do they take card?
They take cards.
They all mostly just
better take card.
I know some companies they still only take cash. So
no, they take cards.
Now here's something that if you're looking to buy stuff at the convention, it's always like not for food trucks, but it's always really important and good to bring cash with you for like in convention purposes because you just never know when like a system goes down, or if you just need the cash, or like your card reader isn't working, or just it's faster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's really
if you could do cash, it's better generally, because even like some of these vendors come from all over across the country, and like they're I've had times before when I be a vendor from like Texas or whatever, and I'm from Minnesota, so my credit card didn't like that, like for whatever reason. So
call your bank.
Stuff like that happens.
If you're gonna buy like a bunch of stuff, you can call your bank ahead of time and let them know I'll be spending $500 on dumb things in Indiana. So go ahead and not decline that.
I never thought about that.
Yeah,
that's crazy good. Yeah.
So doing that's very important. Bringing cash.
How much cash? How much do you recommend? Like,
so
200, 300, 1,000?
We're going to have, it depends on how much product you buy from Lorcana.
I would say don't bring more than $1,000 worth of cash. Or it depends on what you're buying, right? If you're there to buy Magic singles, maybe you need a bunch of cash. You know what I mean? But
like an average, for the average individual. Like,
that's a tough one. I would say like average individual. I mean, a board, like Chris, most of the new board games there cost like what? Like
50, 60
to $100.
Yeah.
And if people want to buy like 5 or 10 board games, most people probably bring like $1,000. Like it's usually people bring usually GenCon they come to spend.
So it's like $200 a safe number, you think?
200?
Is that too low?
If you're going to if they were to let you buy a case of Lorcana every day, that's going to, I mean, that's not going to happen. But
that's not going to happen.
I'm just saying.
It's not. I feel like but remember, like there are ATMs, but they're usually on lines. There's fees, so like your cash that you bring with you, always very important. Like you just want to have it on hand.
So look at the map. Ravensburger is going to be in booth 2001, which is, they don't have the doors listed on the map, but it's the third door down. It's actually so I think is C, if I remember right. I don't know. On the main hallway.
Is it closer to the street?
It's further away.
Oh, okay.
It's like the L-shaped side, and it's the third one down.
So it's near the gaming hall then.
Yes, so it's on that side of it.
All right,
and then it's right. The booth's right on the other side of the doors.
So Ravensburger is actually the only one that's going to have 2 booths. It's going to have the main booth on the inside of the convention hall space, and they're actually going to have a secondary booth outside of the convention hall.
Well, there's in the gaming area, a lot of like in the gaming area, there'll be a lot of companies have that. Where like FFG will have a booth inside and one in the gaming area. Ravensburger will have one inside that like Cool Stuff Inc. Like
that's for the tournament.
So they have because they have ICC 131 is their other. Well, that actually I don't think that's not. So they're going to have the events in the event hall, I assume, unless it's ICC 131.
That's the event hall. They're going to have it in the event hall.
That's event hall. Okay.
Yeah, that'll be in the big gaming area. That's where that'll be.
Where will the starter deck challenge and learn to play demos be occurring? Is it in this map, this Family Fun Pavilion 2001 Ravensburger?
No, that's just going to be where their product is.
Yeah.
Oh.
And probably that's going to be.
The tournament is at 9 a.m. and the hall's open at 10 a.m. They're in 2 separate locations.
Completely different locations.
You got to remember, I mean, Lorcana is their biggest thing, obviously, this year, but they also are going to
the puzzles.
They're going to bring all their puzzles and stuff too. So I mean, they're going to bring all their villainous. That booth's going to have a whole bunch of stuff in it, and then it's not just going to be Lorcana, but the event center stuff is going to be the Lorcana events.
Correct. So there's 2 different locations, things like that. Like, but it's just one of the things too is like. This is, at the end of the day, this is the biggest board gaming convention in the United States. So, like, just be prepared. It's a lot of humans,
and this one is. And what I tell people,
it'll be different.
What I tell people is, it's not. It's a great time. There's 50,000 people there. I think it's a great experience for everybody. This one is more, for board gaming, is like definitely more commercial than some of the other smaller board game conventions because a lot of stuff is released here. So the exhibit hall actually is a big deal. Getting in there early and waiting and like jumping and try to get in line for your stuff. That's a big part of this one because they launch games here, right?
Yep.
Whereas something like Origins, which is what's going on right now, actually, is another.
It's for like gaming tournaments.
That's actually for gaming. Like that one is all about going to play games, and there's a lot of game playing going to happen here. Don't get me wrong, but I would say like there is this overarching focus of Gen Con as being like where the stuff gets released. Going home with shiny new stuff. That's a big part of it.
It's like where Asmodee shows up and FFG shows, where all the big companies show up, have nice big booths that are like just really cool displays, and then the announcement of new games.
So this map is just the retail stuff. Because when you look at the map and you look at how it's kind of an L shape, you see the bottom there. That goes into a whole nother area of the convention center that is the gaming space, the event center. which is probably just as big as that, but it's just areas where they hold events.
Size too, yeah. It's the gaming center and the convention hall
plus the stadium. Now they started a couple of years ago. They started using the stadium.
Yes, so I highly recommend that, guys. If you haven't,
you should definitely walk around stadium. Yeah,
you literally can just go walk on Soldier. You can go walk on Lucas Oil Stadium. Like there's gaming down. You can go walk on like the turf. That's the coolest thing.
Oh, it's turfed? I thought it'd be concreted.
No, it's turf.
Because football.
I meant like I thought they would have removed the turf.
No, so they have like special hallways, like aisleways, where you like only can like walk on, but there are certain sections of the turf that is exposed that you can walk on.
Cool.
It's a really cool experience to like play a game on the 50-yard line instead of a football stadium.
That's where
like, it's pretty surreal.
There's a board game library thing they have there, like where you can rent out board games. They're also one of my favorite things when I go is I like to just play board games. So that a lot of the hotels, the attached hotels, they have spaces too where you could, like there's a big like banquet hall where you can just go with your friends and pull out board games or whatever.
It's an entire downtown event. Like there's stuff going on in the hotels. Like
what games do you want to play, Chris?
I don't know. I'll play whatever new board games we get. Whatever board game. I like playing board games.
I tried to get into the Villainous tournament. We'll see if I get that, but that sounds fun. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
What are the questions for newcomers you guys got?
Should we go to the upper deck booth that's across the way and ask them if they sell Lorcana?
Yes. You beat me to that joke. So
they'll have verses.
Hey guys, when does the Russia v. Core come out? I heard that game's like really hot right now. What's going on with that?
They're gonna get so many trolls.
Love you guys.
Well, yeah, they asked for that.
Obviously, start walking. I mean, you guys will hear this a lot, but like, if you're not a walker, like, spend the next 2 weeks
every day.
Buy new shoes.
Well, the shoes is helpful, but like, just I mean, you're on your feet constantly. You don't realize how much you're gonna be walking around because the convention center is huge to get from one side to another. So awesome. Just start walking as much as you can to get your feet ready for that.
I guess one of the newcomer questions I have, especially too, because we are going as like a Lorcana community content creator, hopefully like meetup situation. I didn't know how much free play space I should expect to be able to like just jam games.
There'll be a lot
if I wanted
actually,
to.
at the convention center is limit. I would say is more limited.
In the exhibit hall, but in the gaming area, there's a bunch.
I mean, but even that is mostly all that. All the space in the gaming area is being used for events. So even there, you will see open tables, and they may be open for an hour because they're between events or whatever. But like everything in there is booked by somebody. There's not just tables in there that are open for people to sit down.
There are like you can find a corner. Events will be empty tables.
Events will be done, or they won't be full, so you can find places to spit in. But that's what I'm saying. Like if you really want to find a place to open play, that would be the attached hotel.
Okay.
Because GenCon
is one better than the other. Like, hey, you should go to this hotel, but not that hotel.
I can't remember the names of them.
So the trick is like I would say you're like honestly your best chance if you want to play games would be staying in the convention center because there's really no good table space at the hotels unless you're staying in the hotel.
No, I'm talking about have you gone to like they have I'll look at the hotel.
You can't go play games at JW Marriott. There's no tables out there.
No, but they have the last time I went, they had the whole banquet hall open for gameplay.
Oh, they opened it for us?
Yeah.
Oh, that's new. They didn't used to do that. They didn't want all the ruffians playing there. The JW Marriott's a nice hotel downtown. So. It was part of the deal was like, I mean, I think that there's not as much open play as people would think when they think about Gen Con. So I spent like 2019 when I spent like a lot of time I think it was a JW at their banquet center. JW is the closest. It's closest. Yeah. It's a nice one. It's closest. So it's either like probably the JW but you'll find spots like there's room.
You can definitely find spots.
Inside the convention,
inside the event area. There's no tables. There's no tables in the retail area. Like there's like they may have little like sometimes Asmodee or Fantasy Flight Games like has little demo areas.
Yeah, there'll be demo areas, but you can't.
They're doing demos there. So
just go to the upper deck booth and ask for a table to practice by Rush Core.
I was really hoping to ask Upper Deck how Yu-Gi-Oh is going.
The deep cut.
Because it's funny they listed it in that lawsuit, and I was like, really? You want to talk about how Konami sued you for it?
Yeah.
Thought about that Blue Eyes White Dragon.
One question I have for Bates or Chris and Skeff is, I'm planning on bringing a backpack, and my backpack can hold a little bit.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure, like, let's say I'm going to buy a board game or something. I guess, do they have a way for, like, if I'm going to buy it, I can pick it up later and, like, reserve it? Or do I just have to? Some
booths do that. Not a lot. I would say that's pretty rare.
Yes, because their space is just as valuable.
Yeah.
So if here's something that you can bring with you, it takes a little space. You can grab yourself one of those IKEA like plastic bags, the big blue IKEA bags. Are you familiar? Mm-hmm. Yeah, like those fit a lot of games, but I'm like, then you got to carry it around. So you have the flow about it all.
Like a double-edged sword.
Yes. Yeah. Like, so that's the thing is like space. If you bring a backpack, very important. Like just know what you have to put away, know what you're going to buy. Bring an extra bag. Some of the companies like FFG, Chris, like they always have the biggest bags.
They have big bags. So,
like you go buy from them, and they just fill that bag up for the rest of the day. Like they're just very convenient.
And you can buy a little thing and look at this huge bag. Yeah, like it's carry the whole day.
So that's pretty fun.
You got to carry your gear.
Yeah, man. Everything is carry. If you can find yourself like one of those really lightweight like portable stools, those are pretty good to use. You know what I mean? For the sitting and stuff like that, having yourself a chair.
We're totally using Dylan as the pack mule, man. Like 100%.
I don't know who this Dylan guy is, but he's gonna have a fun day.
Dylan,
he's out extra. He's the third guy. He's the payload that we're picking up on our way there.
The payload is secure.
That's insane. But yes,
we're strapping him to the top of the car.
Whatever you buy, you're gonna have to carry on with you since you don't have an hotel, right? There's no drop spot for you.
Yeah.
So going to that, think about, like. It's just like you really want to plan the day, right? Like, are you guys playing in any of the tournaments day one?
So we don't have starter deck challenge tickets.
Oh, or what about any learn to plays or anything?
We have learn to play.
Perfect.
And mine's on Thursday. Tyler's is on Sunday.
Not in the morning, right? In the afternoon.
No, mine's at 2 o'clock.
Perfect.
on Thursday.
Perfect.
And
so
then
your main objective then is to show up and purchase Lorcana product, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So then the main objective is so you want to get there early, find a spot. And then
have room in the backpack.
Yeah, have room in the backpack. You know what I mean? And then just bunker down because at the end of the day, like that's for a couple of Gen Cons where I remember like me and Chris, like I remember like there was the FFG game. You're like, well, we're just going to sit here. We only want that game,
right?
So we want to. That's the thing. It's like Gen Cons a lot of like it was Destiny.
Yeah,
because we wanted that promo card. It was a bunch of hurry up and wait.
Oh yeah,
we wanted that promo card. Remember you? Chris remembers me to use that promo card. We needed that promo card.
You ran demos as much as you could. Yeah.
Yep. And so you got to wait for those. So yeah, it's a really big game of hurry up and wait. And your main objective, and it's good to like.
You may want to. You probably heard this too. You may want to try to get into the other events. What do they call those? The
generic tickets.
Yeah, generic tickets. For the play events. Because if people don't show up.
Yeah,
depends how they're doing it. But they're supposed to. Ravensburger is supposed to. If people don't show up, they should. Take generic tickets, like make a line of people to fill in and take generic tickets.
Correct.
So
because it's a $20 entry fee, and generic ticket is $2.
Correct.
So you can like, I mean, that's hard because that's going to be the same time as the event hall opening up. But like that would probably be something like for Friday or Saturday.
Well, you can buy your generic tickets ahead of time.
I'm just saying for like waiting in the line though, right? Like I feel like you probably got to make a choice whether you want to try to rush in to get the.
No, they probably want to get the product. So like if they want to get the product, I mean like hunker down and then here's something too. Like I don't want to be negative or anything, but like assume the worst. Like if you don't get product day one, what do you do differently day two? Right? Like that's kind of like the mindset where you like go into like if you're hunting for one game, then you just got to go into like all right, if I get the product day one, how much can I get? And then if I don't, what happens day two? Like can I do something different? Like what happened? Things like that.
I feel like it's going to be finding a balance between like people who get the product on day one. I don't know if they'll have a system in place to say, okay, you got product yesterday.
No. Everybody can keep mine.
Now they keep different companies have taken action and they have done that in ways where they will hole punch your badge.
It's really hard though.
Your badge, but that's another level of logistics that they no longer want to do because it's another person that's just doing another job that isn't moving product.
Imagine the sabotage of me going to the front of the line and then just Sharpie massacring the whole line in front of me.
It would legitimately be your best and last Gen Con.
Yeah.
It's typically that they worry about the day, right? They try to like limit the sales of the product
so
they have. So
there's going to be allotments of
Yeah.
So each day, Lorcana is going to have an allotment of product available. Like most companies always have 4 days worth of allotments. Right. They're like, oh, we got a shipment shipped overnight. It'll be here Saturday, right? So
because it's the worst thing to sell out all of the first day and then sit there for the next 3 days and not have anything to do, right?
Yeah, and they're just up and
they could sell puzzles,
right?
No, they'll burn them down. So
no lie. Just a quick side note: they could make some fantastic puzzles from the art of this game.
Oh, for sure.
Like they could, and I don't want any.
If they have the license to do it,
that's true.
Yeah, that's true. So you have to be approved for different medias. And if Disney isn't if they're not allowed to do the media and the puzzle, then they're not allowed to, right?
Well, it depends on what contract they signed for Lorcana. Yes. If it was like this artwork is for Lorcana, only, then they'd have to get a second contract. Properties. Yeah. So they have to get a second contract saying you can use art from X, Y, and Z on your puzzles, or
they can get sued by Disney. You know,
I don't
know boat, right?
Yeah, that would be hilarious. Ravensburger sued by Disney for using its own art. Like what?
I feel like Ravensburger is really missing a very possible thing of just opening a bar and calling it puzzles.
No, get out. You're fired.
My head
hurts. For our listeners,
my head hurt.
I posted in the chat here, and this, if you want to listen, you can go to GenCon maps, and there is a map of all the stuff. But this is the JW Marriott Grand Ballroom is what I was talking about earlier.
It's the nicest hotel.
Past years, they've had that Grand Ballroom be all open play. There's just tables everywhere. And it's a huge room where you see probably, I don't know, over 1,000 people just playing board games.
Connected by walkways?
Yep, Skyway.
Yep. It's easy Skyway.
What's the walk distance? Is that like a 5, 10, 20-minute walk?
It depends on where you are in the convention center.
We've done this before.
On average, of course, it depends on
from the middle of the convention center. I would say 10 minutes,
maybe at the most.
So how fast? Yeah,
it's close. 5 minutes. 5 minutes if you walk outside. 10 minutes on the Skyway.
You walk the Skyway.
I was going to say, you were about to ask how quick. It depends on if we've eaten or not. That's important.
Depends on if Sugi needs the bathroom.
Yeah, or if I need to go to the bathroom. That's also an important factor.
4 seconds.
It's a long haul, baby.
Pizza dude's got 30 seconds.
Yeah, that ain't happening there.
So that's the thing. It's and also here's something too to remember is that every year my tip that I usually like to do is I usually stock up on sleeves at the convention. Because
at the convention?
Yeah, mate. Listen, hear me out. So Dragon Shield, every year for the past couple of years, I hope they do it again this year. They usually have a promotion where you can buy a case of sleeves. So it's 10 packs of 100.
God.
But then you get 2 or 3 of the packs for 2 or 3 of them for free.
So that's $30 off.
Yeah, it's a huge discount.
It's
never on sale.
But then you carry around all these sleeves.
Yes, here's the buy it day one, and then you buy it for everybody.
Yeah, you split with people.
Yeah, listeners, I don't know. I don't know
about
this.
I drive. That's me. I have a car. I'm gonna drop it off in the car. So
GenCon about to be Dragon Shield sleeves.
I secondary marketing out of my trunk.
Also, there'll be.
You guys want to buy some sleeves?
There'll be GenCon exclusive sleeves as well too.
Bring me pictures of sleeves, Spider-Man.
Yeah, right. But I mean, if you're looking for a discount on sleeves for if you want to go that's
this man is selling sleeves out of his pocket.
If you guys need card sleeves for your decks, I'm gonna laugh at you and not letting you have any of them.
Okay, hold on.
I gotta get sleeves for a deck. Where would I get these from? I don't know, buddy.
Okay. Oh my gosh, we've unraveled a horrible version of Skeff, the sleeve seller. He's like, hey man. Okay, so 2 quick things. Actually, Dragon Shield is right down the way from Ravensburger. So Ravensburger is at 2001. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's 12 little booth things down, so that's not very far.
Oh, just 12 booths. It's okay.
Well, I mean, a booth it's not that big. It's like a 5-minute walk. But in all reality, is it going to be a pain to try and get those sleeves? Because if you're telling us that there's lines everywhere and there's people everywhere, you have to wait 30 minutes to get this.
It's not a demand for the sleeves. For the GenCon ones, they go exclusive. But no, if you want just a discount, Dragon Shields never go on sale.
That's true.
So if you want them on a discount, that GenCon, there's your discount. Like, you know what I mean? I don't buy sleeves all year.
But if I have the 9 a.m. Thursday tournament, I'm bringing sleeves before I show up.
Yeah, the hall won't even be open.
Dude, can you play your deck naked? That'd be awesome.
I don't think you want to see me naked.
No, the deck. Just the deck.
Oh, the deck. Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure that's illegal in most states.
Awkward.
He's the one who asked. Man. I'm just answering the question.
All right. But yes, you'll be prepared. Yes.
I would bring a set of sleeves, like fresh sleeves. And then if you want to buy more sleeves, go talk to Skeff because he's your guy.
Jesus Christ. Just trying to give people a deal and discount. Whatever.
Yeah, don't support Dragon Shield. Support Skeff. He's the local guy.
Say go to Dragon Shield.
Friendly local sleeve seller.
For normal people that are just going for the first time, I know this doesn't apply to our guests today because they're coming in hot. I would encourage you to get there the day before or walk around the ICC, the convention center, just so you get a feeling of right? where things are.
Yeah.
But you can walk around. It's open. The hallways are open, so you can walk around whenever you want. Whenever they're open.
So then, how does trade day work? If everybody could just walk around wherever they want?
Trade day is in the convention. It's like you can walk around not inside the convention.
So I'm not talking about. You can't get in the exhibit halls. You can't go where the booths are. But that's a small part of the convention center. Yeah, you'll see the hallways and where things are. On the other side
of this door, here's the street. That's where the JW Marriott is.
How to get the skywalks.
Bathrooms.
Did you guys get your badges sent to you?
Yes.
Nice.
I'm getting them mailed.
Yeah, that's smart because you'll see this humongous line of will call. People will be there for. It moves fairly fast, but they'll be there for a long time.
Get them mailed?
Yes, I changed it, Tyler. Initially, we had a will call, but then the other day when I saw GenCon, they tweeted. It was smart marketing. They tweeted, "Look at this line from 2017," and I was like, I don't like to admit when I've been got. But you got me. So $15, here you go.
It's totally worth it.
$15, little man.
It's worth it.
That's great information to have, and I wish I would have had that. No,
I paid it for us. I got your ticket.
Oh,
so
I know.
Yeah, buy this man some Dragon Shield sleeves at GenCon. We'll hook you up with Skeff. He'll get you the discount.
That's it. No one's getting any of the sleeves. I thought about sleeves. No one's getting any of them now.
You're gonna buy them all.
I'm gonna buy and not share.
But everyone's like waiting in line for Lorcana. Skeff, what are you waiting for? Sleeves from Dragon Shield. I'm gonna buy them out.
I would
encourage you guys.
Sleeves.
I would encourage you guys not to get stuck in the exhibit hall too much. To just walk around and see all the crazy. There's literally a card. They call it card hollow, where they try to make this huge tower.
Yes, I'm in on that.
They do all this. There's just so much crazy stuff going on. There's a cosplay event. I think it's usually Saturday, I believe.
Yeah,
where they have this huge cosplay parade.
Yeah.
So there's just so much stuff going on, and just even at the hotels, people are just
go over to Asmodee, play Star Wars Unlimited.
Stuff. I'm playing Star Wars Unlimited. We have a 4 p.m.
I'm sorry for you guys.
Demo.
There's probably good Lord. There's a demo.
Enjoy B minus Lorcana.
Don't trust FFG. Don't trust them.
No, I don't.
Should try it. It's free.
They will break your heart. They will break your heart.
They will break your heart. They're the girlfriend you think you want.
Right.
They're free. It's free to play, and I'm like, hey, it's a Star Wars game. I'll try it out.
That's why it's the girl you think you want. Go play Warhammer over at booth whatever 2411.
I'm still contemplating whether or not I'm going to sit down for a game of D&D.
Yeah, the RPG sessions are really sweet.
Don't do it. They'll suck you in.
They will suck you in.
I'm planning on getting sucked in. I just got sucked into a D&D campaign that I didn't even think that I wanted to be in.
That's usually how it works.
That's awkward.
So
there's a lot
got to be a gnome. I'm fine with it.
So my bucket list for this is a very short bucket list, but it's filled with a lot of Lorcana stuff. But I know that
I never would have guessed. I'm shocked.
But one of the things that I want for sure is dice, and I'm sure there's some unique dice sets. I don't want to. I don't want to go with just the unique. I don't want to go with the generic dice from the big companies. Are there a lot of smaller companies with custom die and stuff?
Wormwood dice.
Wormwood dice, yes.
It's expensive. GenCon's expensive.
Are you willing to spend $120 on dice?
Yes, I have. I have 3 sets.
Not you. You know you're crazy.
Here's my budget. I'm looking for dice that I can use in Lorcana as damage counters and stuff, but I can feel cool doing it. And I'm looking to spend upwards of
some of those dice.
What?
Wormwood.
Yeah,
Okay.
you could, but don't lose them. That'd be terrible.
There's not. I wouldn't say there's a ton of like mom and pop or craft things at Gen Con.
But there are a lot of variety of dice from companies you can buy.
Yes, the cost of a booth there is huge. So like usually these are bigger players that could afford a booth at Gen Con. But there's plenty of people with dice. I mean, there's plenty.
I'm hoping for dice. I'm also hoping for cool play mats like from Ravensburger. I'm hoping they do stuff like that.
They have 3 and they're fine. You know, Dragon Shield probably will have some Gen Con.
Oh my god!
Hashtag not sponsored.
No, we're not.
If you guys like RPGs, look into. Have you heard of True Dungeon?
I think those are all sold out.
No,
are they all sold out?
Oh yeah, they are.
Sold out.
Oh,
yeah, they're all sold out.
Well, don't look into that then. It's the same thing where they have you could go down to their people don't show up, so you could go down to the event and you could get in.
Though. It's like $100.
Yeah. I've done it. I usually do one session. It's worth it. It's always worth it.
Just come hang out with us. We'll play board games in Lorcana. Yeah. We got you covered. Actually, I want to go with you on that dice tear. That sounds fun.
Yeah,
we're gonna be
rolling.
I'll show you the Wormwood. I know the Wormwood people. They're really cool.
Jacob, I'm done with you.
Yeah, the Wormwood.
So something cool about Wormwood. Not only do they have like custom made dice of all varieties, but they have custom wooden boxes with like foam inlay.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. So you can get like custom dice between like $60 to thousands of dollars, and then the custom wood boxes between $60 to like $200. But they have a really cool combo that's a dice roller with 2 sets of custom dice with boxes for the 2 sets. And then you can put them in the dice roller, and the dice roller has a lid. I think it's MSRP like $300, but it's all like handcrafted with you. It's not like cheap stuff. All of their stuff is handmade. So like when they sell out, they're out for months because they got to remake everything fresh. Yeah, it's great. Super quality stuff.
Also, since
I use it for my Warhammer and my Dungeons and Dragons because they have like a D&D set with all the dice. I think you can get it for like $180, but it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. Every penny.
Right. Here's something too. It's like, so you guys are gonna be buying a lot of cards, like a lot of product, hopefully, right? Once you open up the packs, like, you're gonna have something to put them in? Like, is there a box? Like,
bring a deck box.
Okay. Make sure you you want to make sure you have enough space for the cards, right? So
I'm doing an investigation when we're talking, and it looks like that 130.
Is GenCon going to be there? Oh yeah, they are. See,
yes,
Go to Game GenCon.
I think Ultimate Guard will be there.
Yeah,
too.
Go to Game GenCon.
The second room for Ravensburger is actually one of those side rooms, Skeff.
Oh,
so I'm guessing they're gonna have 3 spots actually.
Free to play area. That'll be the problem.
That'd probably be like where they do, because that's smaller. Those rooms, they hold like, I don't know, 50 people.
Yep, those would be.
Wait, is this not the same place? The exhibit hall?
Yeah, that's so exhibit hall A, B, and C is actually, those are the where where you look at the retail spaces.
Yeah,
and then partly D is part of that too. And exhibit hall E is all games.
Yes,
that's where the tournaments usually are held at. And so you go down,
baby.
You go down to those. I assume that's where the event for Lorcana is going to be too. And I'm guessing the room 133 at the bottom there. I'm guessing that's probably going to be maybe where they do learner plays at, because that'd be a good size for learner plays.
Right.
But I'm
sure they're gonna have some of it near the event center, but I mean there'll be like overflow because like there's a lot of people doing it. So, but yeah, make sure like you have enough space.
I don't think our tickets. I don't think our tickets we don't have our tickets yet, do we? No, we don't. So we don't.
No, I don't think so. Not yet. But yeah, make sure you have like a deck box or like a super hive or whatever it is. Like you can store all the cards that you open. You know what I mean? That's the last thing you want to do is like damage all the cards you got.
Go online, get you a Monster Protector binder. Those things never break.
Yeah,
they look cool. They're German. They're from Germany with the double stitching, so they like never rip.
Yeah,
and I think they're like $25. I mentioned this a couple weeks ago, and I've seen like 3 or 4 people in the community just pick them up. Monster binders, in my opinion, are just like the best binder in the world. They last forever. I have ones that I bought in like 90s. They're so
there'll be companies there that'll have them also for sale. Like you like finding card supplies there.
Dragon Shield.
Yeah, they'll be binders. The Dragon Shield binder.
Bring your binder before you get there. You don't want to wait in line for a hocked up cost. Like monster binders are probably in the $20-$25 range. I guarantee you're going to try and sell for like $40. Yeah.
Like what did I buy? I bought one of those like Ultimate Guard Smart Hives.
Those are good.
So I bought one of those to just fill with cards. So
I get your plan. I mean, your plan seems to be like you can pack what you want to prepare, but also be aware that some of the things you would be packing are sold at the venue. So if you want one of them that's new, go ham. Like,
or if you don't want to pack it, you know what I mean?
Makes sense.
Like if you're flying or if space is limited, like you like, oh, should I buy this here? Like, no, it's probably there. Also,
we appreciate driving. We're driving, but
if you're flying, also there are actually 2. No, there's only one now. There's one game store downtown. It's actually pretty nice, but it's like there is a game store downtown. So if like worst games to worst, I'm sure they would have it.
Well, Cool Stuff Inc. is going to be there. They bring all of their stuff.
Cool Stuff Inc. will have. So like that's what. See, exactly. So like anything you need,
go to Cool Stuff.
Will be available. You know what I mean? So like you don't have to worry
Cool
about,
Stuff
like,
also
discount.
sells at a discount too.
Yes, they do. Yes,
they sell at a discount. I used to work there. I know the guys. So they sell a discount. And they have agreements with everyone. So they're going to have like Ultimate Guard, Game Genic, Ultra Pro, literally everything you can, except I don't think they carry Monster anymore.
No,
but like they've got the sleeves, the deck boxes,
there'll be stuff there,
binders. Obviously, pack it first because you don't want to, like, if you wait in line for all your Ravensburger stuff.
Yeah.
You don't want to wait in another line to buy sleeves and a binder. You want to go and crack that stuff and see what you got immediately.
That's why you have multiple people. You have one guy get in one line and one guy get in another, and you're like, okay, we're
exactly.
good.
Yeah, you divide and conquer. Very important.
Yeah.
Very
That'd
important.
be nice.
This is how you win wars, people.
It's very true. Man.
Yeah, make time to leave. Make time to go.
How you win wars.
Make time to leave and go. There's plenty of good restaurants that you can sit down at too. You know, that are always busy. So make time to like get out there, like get out of the convention center and get some food too.
I plan on
take a break.
As far as that part goes, fun little fact: as kids, Tyler and I were in like a quizzing thing. We made it to Worlds, and the Worlds was in Indianapolis. So we've actually been there together, but as like third graders.
Dude,
so
it's been 20 years since we were in Indy. So
it's not the same place.
Yeah, it's not the same place. And we don't know the restaurants or anything like that. So
I plan
on letting a lot of people kind of take the lead and kind of going with the flow with people we meet there as far as those decisions go. So,
and if you guys are going to get food, try to get places that like can get reservations ahead of time. So try to get reservations if you can, like Open Table or things like that.
We were communicating with a lot of different potential Airbnbs because we kind of got to the GenCon planning late. We didn't know we were getting tickets until like after they already released all the events and sold the tickets and stuff. We didn't even know. So we were kind of late to the game. We missed a lot of hotels that would have been available. And every single Airbnb host that I spoke with, it was kind of funny to see. They're like, oh, GenCon. Yeah, you're here for GenCon. I have people who stay for GenCon every year at my Airbnb. And I was like, dang, this is established.
It's so convenient.
Yeah.
It's such a convenient thing. Having like just this, people once they find a place they like, they don't want to go anywhere else.
It's a huge event for Indianapolis. It's the biggest gaming event of the year. So
it makes lots of money.
Yeah, no joke. All right, another big question we haven't talked about. So we've discussed. Here's the things you should do, what you should prepare for, so on and so forth. What are some things you should not do? Do not bring these things. Don't do this. Avoid, this part of town or whatever. What are some things you've learned not to do over the years you have been going to GenCon?
Don't overschedule yourself. I think that's a easy thing to do. And I think a lot of us are going for the main purpose of Lorcana, which is fine because we're by nature going to be limited to what we could do in that respect. So that won't be as big a deal for us. But in the past years, like sometimes that you see a lot of events you want to go to, right? And you want to go like set up event to event. And like, if you heard us over the last hour talking,
you need downtime.
It's first of all, it takes longer you think to get from one place to another because of the number of people there and the size of the convention center. And you need to have a break. Like it's more intense than like being at home and doing 8 hours of like board gaming with your friends or whatever. There's a million people there. It's loud. It's a intense experience. So, kind of pick the highlights of what you want to focus on doing and then really build in some time. Even like if you're not at a hotel that's attached, build in some time to like go walk over to the JW Marriott, find a seat to sit down and find somewhere to chill out at because you need to like recover throughout the day so you can keep going so you don't just burn yourself out.
That's good advice. As newbies to GenCon, I feel like Tyler and I, we both like pour over the GenCon events. It can be overwhelming with so many companies we don't know.
So many.
And so I've been pretty like good, I think, about like not over planning myself. Some of it was not my doing because it's literally sold out.
Right.
But I planned the Lorcana Learn to Play demo as soon as we could get tickets for that. And then Star Wars Unlimited demo because it was free. Trying to get into a villainous tournament.
Yeah.
And then other than that, it's kind of the plan to hang out and kind of go with the flow with generic tickets.
Yeah.
Because like I get stressed if I know something is upcoming because then all I can think about is like, okay, what time do I need to be here to go there? And it occupies so much headspace that I feel like I can't just enjoy the moment. And it feels like there's so many things there that I shouldn't be bored just enjoying the moment for 3 days.
Right.
Especially if I can pick up random things,
Yeah, there's just so much you can walk around and see. A lot of it's scheduled, but a lot of it just happens. And a lot of it's, there's a lot of these companies have just open rooms. You can walk in and do stuff. There's video game halls. There's rooms where people just go to play video games. There's auctions going on. There's just literally stuff everywhere.
Right. Like the auction house is something I recommend if you can try to make it to. It's really cool. But something that's a very useful tool, I would say probably about a week or probably about 2 weeks before GenCon. There's a YouTubers. It's a Dice Tower. And they do like an entire like GenCon breakdown of like all the companies and like what games they're bringing there.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
That's usually a good call.
To stick on the theme of like what not to do or what not to bring, I did have concerns because we are looking to like record some of the experience, document it in video. I mean, ideally create a vlog of some kind for our trip just to memorialize it and also kind of share the fun experience. But I did hear some things from people about like recording in the convention can be iffy because you have to like ask permission. So like as far as like if you're looking to record your experiences, is it a waste of time to like take a camera? Like would I get in trouble for that?
I've never heard that.
I heard from I saw on Twitter, I don't know if it was a random.
I know what you're talking about.
What about you, Skeff? I've seen people with cameras all the time there.
So basically what you're referencing, Jacob, is recording content inside of a booth. You need the booth's permission. So if you're doing your own thing and you're walking around and you're documenting your experience with you as the primary focus, that's fine. But if you've got your camera out, you go into the Ravensburger booth and you're like, here's some photographs here's some video of the puzzles, and here's Jimmy who's selling them, and you're not asking permission, and you walk over, here's the Ravensburger booth with Lorcana, and here's Timmy who's selling them, and here's all this stuff. So like normally you can shoot product, most people don't mind. It's when you start shooting people, then they get kind of uncomfortable because the people on the other side of
filming
camera,
for the GenCon
while you're filming, So
you need to ask the convention center.
Yeah, inside the convention center, you got to.
You can just shoot. It's normally fine.
I've never.
I've shot many times and no one said anything.
I would imagine that maybe
now, if you're gonna shoot, like if you're gonna record for an interaction of like a demo, it'd be polite to just ask. Yeah. But if you're just walking and shooting the convention hall,
no, that's fine.
Yeah,
that you can do, but like so that's normally recording stuff is usually just you'll see everyone doing it. It's just it's the thing to do.
I think what the Twitter post was talking about is people were like going into booths and then just taking video of the employees doing stuff.
Yeah, that's just creepy.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
So listen, if you're gonna do something, your first thought is this creepy? Don't do it. Don't do it. Go with your gut instinct there.
He's recording his experience at GenCon. Say hi, Jimmy. Hi. This is Tommy. He's recording people doing things and other things that he doesn't need to be a part of. This isn't right. Say bye, Tommy. Bye.
Don't record in the bathroom. Don't do it.
I'm not trying to get banned off of Twitch preemptively.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Remember that one streamer who was like, "I'm gonna vlog from the bathroom." Like, bro, don't do that.
Happens to be 6'8", so he can see over stalls.
So this may not be the most appropriate advice or whatever, but I'll say to our listeners, what I use the past few years is they have family bathrooms, And so like,
if you could actually, I'm not even kidding.
The family restrooms are much better than the just normal restrooms.
Yes, they are.
Try to find one.
So
also, I highly recommend using the bathroom before you start the day.
Yes,
like I cannot recommend that enough.
I'm screwed.
The bathrooms are rough.
Yeah, you have to like
morning
plan ahead,
dues. Super.
The ICC staff is great, amazing, but you could just, I mean, it's 50,000 people there. So like, it's going
to be awful. Assume the worst bathroom. Assume it's going to smell terrible. So you want to use it for
I don't even think their family.
The cleanest it'll be in the morning.
Look, I've been to Yu-Gi-Oh! Nationals. I know a stinky bathroom.
I think they have like mixed gender bathrooms is what they did like the last time I was there. And it was like, I don't give a like, you know, like people like
language.
I don't give a darn. But they were much, you know.
Somebody just Captain America somebody just now.
Yes.
Didn't even bring that up.
Yes, I did.
But so like using the restroom facilities before the day starts, super important because it's the cleanest and easiest and there's no line. I can't emphasize they'll just assume lines for like everything.
I was just going to say, I'm predicting that my adrenaline will be so pumped on that first day, I won't go to the bathroom until the next day.
That is not
that's not healthy.
Will you just reabsorb your waste? I don't know what's happening. What's going on?
You look going to die.
Don't do that, please.
I'm being hyperbolic, but I'm saying I'll probably end up going to the bathroom late.
Give me your number and I'll just text you when you pee last time. We'll just keep you honest.
Okay. Just so you guys know, there are these people. There's a program called Very Important Gamers, VIGs. That like pay like a exorbitant amount of money, which I want to be one of them. But they get like special privileges, and one of those privileges every day they get to go in the exhibit hall half an hour early. So you will see they have to go through one like just one door on the other side of it. So you know you won't be near the door they're going in, but you may see people walking around and getting there early and getting in line because that's one of the benefits of having this VIG thing.
Is it polite to bow?
People do that. I mean, you're definitely bowed to. Yeah.
Don't do that. You kick him in the shin.
You bow to no man or woman.
Thank you, Eric.
I have no man.
Oh man, the Frodo quote. You bow to no man.
Yeah, right.
Let's your golem.
Timely statement with that new Wizards of the Coast Lord of the Rings set coming out.
Yeah.
I try.
I'm literally sitting in front of it right now. I actually have like Lord of the Rings cards in front of me. So thank you for pointing it out. I appreciate it.
Did you get the ring?
No. So I actually got one of the bundle sets. So I did get a ring, but I didn't
get anything. No, nobody cares.
Oh my gosh. Sugi be nice.
As his lawyer, I'm legally obligated to tell him not to say when he bought it.
Sugi's getting hungry. So we gotta wrap this up. Sugi's getting hangry.
No, I'm not getting hungry. He didn't get the ring.
That's a little aggressive there, Sugi.
No, he got one of the 7 rings that the Dark Lord gave out. It's a trap. It's a trap.
Yeah, we got about 7 minutes left to Sugi before he explodes.
That is not.
That's kind of accurate.
Everybody, when you see us at GenCon, please bring Sugi stacks.
Right?
Yes, please feed me. I like that. Yes.
Bring him some of the proactive yoga.
Can I bring a box that has the Scooby-Doo logo and just says Sugi
Snacks? I already did that. Some people got mad at me.
Yeah.
It's a dog food box, but it's just Scooby Snacks inside. Yes. I've already done that. It's very funny. People look at you weird. And you just move about your day. It's
okay. People look at me weird all the time. I don't care. If it's snacks, it's snacks, man.
I'll take snacks, please. All the snacks. But
the snacks.
So having snacks is important. Hydration, bringing food, like knowing.
Bring headache medicine. Like
Advil, ibuprofen. If you're prone to headaches easy, it's really
some of those like hydration powder additives to your water.
Vitamin C,
electrolytes.
Yep. I would bring hand sanitizer. Make sure you bring hand sanitizer with you. That's something definitely important to bring.
Eat real food. Find real food. Do not just eat.
Yeah. There's a Panera. Like if salads, there's restaurants that have salads. Like if you
there's
just
tons of real food options. You just have to you probably have to wait in line a little bit. I mean, but it's much better than always constantly doing like pizza and junk because you'll just crash if you just eat all this the whole time.
It'll kill you.
Nachos.
No nachos.
You know what the thing is about nacho cheese, right?
It's not your
cheese. Nacho cheese.
Oh my gosh!
This is
I warned you.
I'm the troubled one.
I warned you.
So I confirm our tickets actually say where we're supposed to go. The Learn to Plays are in 133, that smaller room. The tournament, whatever they call that, is in Exhibit Hall B.
Big.
B.
Okay.
So that one map I showed you guys,
it's upside down.
It's upside down. I was wrong.
Yeah, it's upside
So
down.
the exhibit halls, the exhibit hall JKIHG is where the products are. and then F starts the. I think that's partly. Yeah, no, that's right. F is still product, but then that swing space that goes into where the games are played.
Yes,
the tournament space.
Okay, so are you saying A, B, C, D, E is tournament space?
Yes. Yes. And so that means that Hoosier hallway, you can see like that, like that's where we would line up probably. Exhibit Hall H, I think, is where Robertsburg is going to be, right by those doors.
Yeah,
right at Hoosier.
They're going to be a big giant. And
that's where it's going to be packed in there.
Is Hoosier covered? I don't understand.
That's just the indoors. That's just
everything's covered. No one's standing outside.
Okay, so while we're waiting in line to go into the convention center to get product on Thursday morning, whatever it is, we'll be indoors waiting.
Yes.
No one will be outside. No one will be outside. They've never gotten that busy, ever.
Okay.
So everyone will be inside.
Never say never.
That hallway is, I mean, especially if you get there.
There's photos. Like, look
relative time, right? And like, I mean, like, as long as you're not coming in right at 10 a.m., like right when those doors open, that Capitol hallway and Hoosier hallway, all those crossroads, I mean, just a million people are in there because everybody's waiting to get into the exhibit hall.
It's 20,000 people. It's a lot of people.
50,000.
50,000. That's a lot of nuts. $4, baby.
So you can see Capitol Avenue. You want to get dropped off if you get an Uber or whatever. You want to go get product. You want to get dropped off on Capitol Avenue somewhere.
Man, I'm glad I'm gonna be playing a game. I'll be wrapping up my first tournament.
I know, and we just get to open the booster box right in front of you.
Yeah, y'all are gonna be like fighting for dominance to get to the Ravensburger booth. I'm just gonna be enjoying playing the game.
What's sweet about your situation, Sugi, is being the first one in there. I think you addressed this on a previous episode, actually. It might have been an Emerald Ink episode, but like the feeling of like you're opening your pack that comes in your starter deck, and undoubtedly, unless we get all cards spoiled before the tournament, somebody in that room will be like, I got something cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it'll be the first time anybody sees it.
Yeah. Cool. It's gonna be great because y'all are gonna be waiting for hours to get in. I'm just gonna show up and crack a pack and be like, "Oh, hey, cool. What's this?"
I'm at the same time as you, Sugi. You're not a special snowflake. I'm there with you, just so you know.
Oh, you're there with me? Oh, you better hope we don't get paired up, man.
I'm just gonna feed you some snacks. You gotta go to the bathroom. We already talked about this.
No, it's okay. I have a resound colon if I need to.
Have you all seen Lorcana memes on Twitter? He did that meme. I think it was today, where it was like Hank Schrader's face from Breaking Bad. It's like whenever you're in a starter deck challenge, and it's his smiley face, and you're partnered against your friend with frowny face.
It's 64 people for 3 rounds.
The odds are low.
So it's just again, that's something else we should say. That I think we talked about that before. But the cut to 8 is rough. I mean, you got to go 3-0. You have to go undefeated.
Yeah. So there will be one. Okay. If everyone shows up, there will be 7 X and O undefeateds and 1 X and 1 who bubbles in, which means if we did the math right, you have to take the loss to the number 1 seeded player to beat. However, I am going to propose a very logistical reality of, depending on which event you go to, and I'm pretty sure Thursday this is going to happen, there's going to be a bunch of people who show up, get their starter deck, and drop because they just want to crack the pack and sell whatever they pull on eBay.
That's sad.
So I mean, but there is a pretty good motivation to play it out, though. Like to do the
not really. Not if people are there to just flip for money.
I guess so.
You know, there's scalpers, so they'll scalp the deck, they'll scalp the pack. So what happens is there's probably a reality of like 5 to 10% will actually drop. So at that point, I think we mathed out. You could see 2 X and 1s bubble in. So depending on your tournament, try and do a quick head count and see how many people are sitting down. If it's not all 64 players, then there's a little wiggle room, but you still have to lose in the 3rd round, and you have to lose to an undefeated, which you would, but it has to be like a high level undefeated.
They're not going to hand out. It's not going to be check in, get your stuff. It's not going to. It's going to be check in, sit down, pass the stuff out. That doesn't mean that doesn't mean you're wrong.
They're gonna get their stuff, get up and leave. They're just gonna walk.
That's still the same. I get that's your point. I'm just saying that it will be, and if that's what happens, that's unfortunate. That happens in games every year. And if you're going to do that, don't play our game. Don't take spots from people that want to play the tournament.
No, it's actually good for people playing, because if a bunch of people drop, then you have a higher chance of actually getting in.
It is not good for people playing because
they won't get the deck though.
Yeah, people want to.
Yeah,
the reality is, that of all the 64 people, not all of them are going to play. They're there to buy it and flip it.
I understand that. I've been saying that's not. Even if that increases your chances of maybe getting into like a top 8 thing. That doesn't. Yeah. That's not.
It's not cool for the game.
Yeah, that's not good for the community. We're not going to encourage that.
Yeah.
No. I'm not encouraging. I'm just saying, like, every tournament, especially when there's money involved, like this booster pack and this starter deck, I could sell for $100. I know for a fact there are going to be people who show up, take it, and walk away. Yeah. So don't freak out if it's like, there's not 60 people here. Why? Because someone just tried to get product and sell it on eBay. But the reality is, a lot of people are trying to do the math of, what are my odds of getting in? If you're undefeated, you're great.
You probably are out. If you're X and 1, you're probably out.
So basically what I'm trying to say is, if you're X and 1, you lost in the third round, and there's not a full bracket, you might get in. But if you X and 1 on rounds 1 or 2, you're out. You're like, it's over. You're done. Yeah.
Would y'all advise, just quickly, if I don't have a starter deck challenge ticket, but I have generic tickets, what are the odds that you think I actually realistically have a chance of getting in?
Pretty good.
Very low.
I think it's the opposite.
Very low.
All the opinions.
not Saturday. Saturday you're screwed. I think Thursday or Friday you have a chance.
Like we're just talking about, people want the product, so they're going to, even if they get a ticket right now, they're going to go there, get the decks, and leave.
Yeah, but there's always someone who it's like, I couldn't make it. I'm sick. Life happened.
There's going to be a lot of people with generic tickets waiting.
People's flight got delayed.
There's going to be a lot of people wanting to get in with the generic tickets, and I don't think they're going to have backups.
Learn to play. You'll get into a learn to play easy, but the starter deck challenges, I think there's going to be a really awkward situation where there's going to be like 10 or 15 people that are going to have generics that are standing around. They're like, oh, who was here first?
Yeah, but if you're there first with your generics, I think your odds on Thursday or Friday are pretty good.
There's
not Saturday.
A lot of people.
Not Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Saturday you're screwed.
Saturday or screwed. I honestly think your odds are pretty good that Thursday morning for the first one. But the thing is, you want to buy products, so like it's just not worth risking.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But my gut says we're not going to see everybody show up Thursday. I don't think so.
I could see that, and I would agree with Sugi on that.
There's too many opportunities for something to go wrong on a weekend. Yeah, very likely. But I mean, there's so like I've already seen people start saying like, I got a new job. My boss won't let me go to GenCon, and they have a ticket. So like that's a really sad, unfortunate event. But like there's a person who's may or may not make it. People get sick all the time. People get hurt all the time. People get hit with some kind of weird bill, or something comes up and it's like, well, I can't afford it. So I got to, cancel my plans. It's just, there's never 100%. It's just never, ever 100% of people that show up. And the first and second days are your best shot to get in. Saturday, everyone's going to be there. You're screwed.
I still think that shot's pretty low.
It is low, but it's better on Thursday and Friday than Saturday.
Just
so you're saying there's a chance.
Purely based on numbers too. I mean, like the attendance at GenCon is not, that 50,000 people is not, consistent throughout the 4 days. The attendance on Thursday and Friday is much lower. Like Saturday is crazy. Saturday is packed. So Thursday and Friday, you could tell a noticeable difference between the people at the convention. Then Saturday is just crazy. Yeah. Saturday
is the type of moment where you're quoting from Codename Kids Next Door and number 2. Hold on to your underwear.
All right. Well, this has been a great episode. Thank you to Chris. Thank you to Skeff for your wisdom. That was really, really
thank you very much.
For real. Thank you.
Shout out to you guys there.
We're going to have a lot of people who listen to this, and that's going to be some really valuable information. But guys from the Ready, Set, Draw team, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, where we can find you, and what's up next on your next episode that you're going to be recording?
Well, we are on YouTube at ReadySetDrawTCG. We are on Twitter at ReadySetDrawTCG. We are posting podcast episodes discussing us, just our friendly dynamic as a group of 4 guys who've been growing up with TCGs our whole lives together. And we also have the Lorcana lessons, kind of teaching the game and evolving over time into more complex topics to kind of build it like you would lessons in school, pretty much, to teach the game. The next episode of the Lorcana lessons will be out not soon, but sooner than most, before the summer's out. It'll be all about tempo and card games. And then I'm pretty sure we just recorded an episode tonight that may get aired before this episode, but yeah,
probably.
It's all, probably. But that one's, hopefully you've already heard it by the time you hear this. So yeah. Tyler, you got anything to say?
I mean, not specifically. I mean, honestly, I'm just super excited to be a part of, first off, just being a part of the community has just been a blessing to our friend group, and having the ability to create the content that we create and have fun doing it, and really feeling like being accepted by the community has been really cool. So
definitely
we're just happy that we're getting to do what we're doing and having fun doing it. So, and that's always going to be our thing. We're always going to be able to look back at this and be like, we did that. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for coming in. Everyone who's listening, go check out ReadySetDrawTCG. They make great content, and it's a really fun group to listen to. So thank you, everyone, for joining us here on this episode. You can find LorcanaCast on social media at Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at LorcanaCast. And on YouTube, we're at Lorcana HQ. And if you're going to be picking up sleeves and binders and all kinds of stuff to get ready for GenCon, please make sure to support your local game store. They are the ones who are going to be providing space for Lorcana, product to purchase. They're going to be hosting OP events. So go ahead and make sure that you get your products from them, so that way we can help support keeping the community alive and taking care of our local businesses. So we will see everybody next time. Thank you for joining us. And remember Ohana, which means nobody gets left behind and nobody gets forgotten.